Rolling. Uh-oh, it says it's live. Oh my gosh. Hello. This is a very unusual day today. Welcome, everyone. Welcome to the Difference Maker Summit, Part 7, Attracting Your Perfect Clients Through Your Story. Hi, I'm Lynn Sanders, your host, the Story Marketing Mentor, and the founder of Difference Makers Media and Park Avenue Marketing, where it's our mission to help inspire, empower, and transform lives for people like you, special business entrepreneurs and nonprofit leaders, so we can help you tap into your highest potential and be able to tell your stories effectively to get the best results. This has already been a special morning. I have wonderful guests with us today. All have come in at the last moment, and I'm so grateful to all of you. And thank you all for listening and taking time from your busy schedule. Happy holidays. I want to let you know I'm a different person myself than I was at the start of this series. I'm going to try my best not to get too emotional because I tend to be an emotional person. I just wanted to give you a little catch up on where I've been. I've been basically disappeared from the Hangout world for quite a while. Right before my plans to do the 7th Summit, this program, we had a very serious incident happen in our family. Our youngest son, Andrew, who's 25, had a series of strokes on October 25th, and we rushed him to the hospital. He went into intensive care, and the next day he went unconscious. And then following that, for 2 days, he was put into a medically induced coma. And I can tell you that it's probably been the most challenging part my whole life to go through this period, and the only thing I could think of to do, because I really felt so helpless, was reach out to everyone I know, including all of you, to say, please, could you send some prayers and positive thoughts for Andrew to help in his healing. You might call that strategic attraction. It wasn't for a client or a business, relationship or anything, just for healing. And I believe that positive energy really helped, because on that next day, after 3 days of being unconscious, Andrew opened his eyes, and it was the greatest blessing for me to hear him say, hello, just like that, to my husband and myself. And even though he at first didn't even know who I was, which was a shock, he quickly remembered that. And right now, after having spent 2 weeks in the hospital and 2.5 weeks in rehab, he is home and recovering and getting better every day. We have a long journey in front of us, and I would also continue appreciating your prayers, but I feel very positive that he is going to fully recover. So I wanted just to let you know that I really am grateful to you, and that strategic attraction is a process that you can use for anything in your life, and it can transform lives. So without further ado, I'm going to welcome our guests here, starting with Roland. Would you each just kindly say a little bit of who you are, what you do for me, and then we'll continue on with the show. So Roland, would you start? You're my assistant for the program, and let us know who you are and what you do.
Hi, Lynn. Everybody knows who I am, Roland from Saturday Morning Marketing Smarties and R&D Hotline. And I was just going to say that Nathan Siegel, Dave Moore, and Scott Eaton, and a few people have joined us in the audience. We don't have comment tracker working well, but we'll try to keep up with the comments, and we'll keep that going as best we can, but we got to get on with the show. So thank you very much.
Okay, we'll go fast. How about we have a very special surprise guest who could just come for a few minutes, Jimbo Marshall, who's lower third is now. Would you tell us who you are, Jimbo? And thank you for being here.
You're more than welcome, and thank you for having me. My name is Jimbo Marshall. I'm the creative director of Hell Yeah Studios. It's a division of Suzanne Evans Coaching. I'm a video producer and director, and thrilled to be here.
Thank you. How about you, Elaine, dear friend?
Are you there? Hi, I'm Elaine Nieberding, holistic nurse, live stream host on Blab and on Hangouts on Air, and my passion is helping people find unifying solutions to any challenges in their life through bringing more play and laughter.
Beautiful. Beautiful. Molly?
Hi, my name is Molly McGeiger. I'm in Jacksonville, Florida, and I participate with Google on several different platforms. I'm a Google Rising Star in the Google Partners community. I'm also a Google Partners ambassador. I'm a Google Small Business Community Advisor. I'm also a Rising Star in the Hangouts forum.
Wow. And you helped me this morning when the show actually didn't go live for a few seconds. I didn't know what we were going to do. And Virginia, dear friend who came in at the last minute, would you tell us, everybody knows you, I'm sure, but please introduce yourself.
I am thrilled that I was able to make it here. Thank you, Lynn, for having me. I love being part of your show and part of your series. I am Virginia Parsons. I am the host and the producer of the Inspirational Businesswoman Show, which is aired weekly on the combination of Periscope, Hangouts on Air, and Blab. I also am known as the Hangout Mentor, and I help entrepreneurs reach new heights of visibility, social influence, and success using these great live stream platforms. Great to be here.
Great. Thank you, Virginia. So we have some fantastic people to be with us, even though Jimbo has to leave early. That's great to have you here anyway. And let's start right away. I'm going to start by asking you all to just take a breath. Well, actually, let's make it 3 breaths. We're going to clear our minds so we can be open to participate and interact as freely as possible. And even those who are outside listening live or on the replay, I'd like you to comment on the comment tracker or write notes, because I want this to be as meaningful for you as possible. So let's start out. You can close your eyes if you'd like, and we're going to breathe in through our nose and exhale through our mouths. Let's do it together. Thank you. Thank you all. So we're going to be talking today about a process called the strategic attraction process that can transform your life. And it's a process that I became certified in through a wonderful pair of coaches, Jan Stringer and Alan Hickman of PerfectCustomers.com. And they shared with me their stories, and they have written 2 globally best-selling books about strategic attraction. I'm going to condense what I've learned over a period of many months into, try to do it in whatever, less than an hour. So be aware that this is a process. It's sort of like peeling an onion. There are many layers, and it will take really time to delve in deeply. So after the program, if you'd like to learn more, feel free to be in touch with me, because we're going to be having strategic attraction coaching groups. So the first step in this 5-part process is, we're going to call it describe. You may want to write that down on a notepad. And what describe means in this process is you want to describe the traits, characteristics, and qualities, the attributes that make you a perfect customer. You get to decide. They don't just come to you. You are going to send out the energy to bring that customer to you. So I'd like you to think for a moment. And I'll give you some of my thoughts, and I'm going to ask our panel here, what would be their perfect customer? Think back to some people who you've worked with or organizations who you consider to be perfect. For instance, I'll just say that, you know, I've had different people who I consider to be perfect, and those traits could be things like having a lot of integrity, being friendly and kind, being on time, paying me promptly and well for my services. So let's ask some of our panelists, if you want to raise your hand, or I could just call on you randomly. And those outside, please comment on what would make a perfect customer for you. Jimbo, since you have a short amount of time, I'm going to call on you first.
All right. Thank you. Yeah, my perfect client, the word that came to mind is coachable. As a video producer and director, and really acting as a strategic partner when somebody comes into the studio, it's very important that they are coachable, that they're listening to me. And really that starts with a level of trust, right? They have to trust that I'm an expert. I've been doing this for a long time. I've worked with many of the big-time online entrepreneurs. And being in front of camera, I will often tell clients, if when you get in front of camera, it will test your vulnerability faster than anything else. And you have to trust the fact that I know what I'm doing, that I have your best interest. And when, you know, working with a group last week, for example, had 4 people in the studio. 3 of them were highly coachable, and the 4th one just wasn't. And it shows in the end result, because they didn't want to come out of their shell. They don't, you know, I will often say, you have to be an internal cheerleader oftentimes on camera for that person watching, so that they believe in you to believe in themselves for a moment, right? We all, you know, we're here for transformation, and being coachable is the #1 attribute, you know, just being able to take that direction in and execute.
Oh, I love that. That's so true because we all have to really be willing to go out of our comfort zone and listen to
Absolutely.
others, like you say. That's so great.
Absolutely.
All right, who would like to be next on our panel? Virginia. Okay, Virginia, take it away.
Yeah, I'd like to add to that because that, as a coach, that is one of the most important qualities that you want in someone who's going to engage your work. And I take it to the next step, along with being coachable, is being open, as I say, to step out of their shadow and shine. Because so often that has to do with feeling having deservability. I can talk. So they have to be open and vulnerable to step out, get vulnerable, take so-called risks because, like Jim, I am working with people in front of the camera. And so they have to feel like I can do this, I'm deserving of doing this, I'm deserving of stepping out of my shadow, and they become more passionate about getting their gift out to the world than they are concerned about how they look on camera to begin with, because we can solve that one. We can help them feel comfortable on camera.
Great, that is so true. I still work with that, Virginia, and I just have to realize I'm out there for other people. It's not just thinking about myself. Definitely. How about Molly? Would you like to go next?
Sure. For me, a perfect client is somebody who they are open to trusting me. In my field, I'm a website designer and developer. I'm a search engine marketer. So a lot of people, you say those terms, and they're like, "What is that? What is HTML? I have no idea what that is." So a lot of times, clients come to me and they know they need a website and they know they need to be on page one, but they're not sure exactly about what journey we have to take. And so when I talked with a client, I explained to them, these are the steps we take in order to get you on page one and get your website and get your videos optimized. And so in the Google Partners community, we actually talk about this all the time about, what is a preferred client. And a preferred client is somebody who's willing to listen to us. That's why we have the certifications in Google Partners, because basically we go through these courses, we study, we take tests, we learn, and we become certified. And from that's where we're able to prove to the client we do actually know what we're talking about. We can actually produce the results that you want. Our industry is extremely competitive in terms of, and I just call it out, scammers, people who they can promise you they can put you on page one, and they're just lying to them. So
so it's the trust. Again.
Yes, it's definitely the trust and authority.
Thank you. How about you, Elaine?
Hi there, Lynn.
Hi.
When I'm working with either individual or groups, the perfect people to work with me are those that are willing to also step out of their comfort zone and explore processes where they might not know what's coming next. In other words, they also have a sense of trust in me that I have their best interest at heart, but they know that I'm working from a place of presencing and listening so that in the moment I am going to either be asking questions, developing a process, or engaging in a group dynamic which might even seem very improvised. In other words, I'll be reading the energy of a situation and a person's own dynamics as well as needs expressed to let emerge a helping, healing process, and one that is likely to be playful. Again, most of my work is helping people bring more play into their healing, creative, and relationship experiences.
That's so true, Elaine. What you just said, something I think is really important. You noticed the energy you mentioned of the people, right? Not just the words. Weren't you saying that?
Right, and
the energy
I mean,
of the people.
I have a background as a holistic nurse, which means I am consciously utilizing all of my regular five senses, but as well other intuitive, energetic senses that I've been consciously noticing their own evolution over a period of decades, and many people. I would say many more people on the planet are really opening up to these expanded ways of connecting. We're recognizing that we can make deep connections when we're not only recognizing spoken needs or problems on the outside, but we're recognizing beyond that drama, that personality that's there, there's that same spark of life, soul, source. And when we remember that, when we're making that connection, then our ability to interact with everyone and help develop solutions can be really potent, effective, and sometimes very surprising.
Beautiful.
To the person on the receiving end.
Definitely. In fact, I was going to add on to that. Everyone listening out there, when we talk about describe, as each of these guests have really beautifully stated, trust is the essence of everything, but you want to think when you describe your words of the perfect traits, qualities, and characteristics, think of the words that you're putting out on the paper too, because words have energy as well as our beings. We're all energy, and I feel that we're really energy first and a body second. And we're connected here for a reason. Everyone listening, I feel, is here for a reason. Maybe you're not aware of why or how, what purpose it'll serve, but there is a reason for us being here and for touching other people's lives. So be aware of the words you put down and make sure those words have positive energy. Now, our second step on the process is called, we're going to call it identify. Do I have it identified? Let's see, here we go. I'm going to do this little magic thanks to Roland's help. Identify. What does that mean? You're going to identify now what makes, here we go, what makes you and your perfect customer tick. And when I say tick, I mean what makes you get up in the morning, get excited. This is the foundation of the whole strategic attraction process. What makes you come alive? What is it? Think about it. Now, I will share with you, because I'm part of this group, what really makes me tick is making a difference. And I have always felt like that for many years. And I think what really pushed me forward into this whole program of doing online shows is because I realized the far-reaching capability, as Virginia has mentioned, doing live stream or hangout programs, as all these people here have done. And I really want to make a big difference. And it's important to me. I don't know why. It's in my soul that I want to reach people and help them build positive influence in the world. Call it difference maker. Each of you are here for a reason. So what makes you tick? I know Jimbo has to leave in a short amount of time, so I'm going to ask you first, Jimbo. I hope you don't mind if I don't want you to feel put on the spot or anything. What makes you tick? And I love connecting also with people. It's really great.
Creativity. I love to find creativity in the work that I do. I love to, it kind of goes back to the perfect client, so to speak, where it's like somebody that's coachable, somebody that comes in with trust, and they're willing to be creative. They also, most of my clients are in a service-based industry, in a coaching facility or consulting along that lines, and the number one thing I can try to get through to them is that we have so many choices when we're looking for a coach or a service provider, that the more you realize it comes down to you, the individual, and that they are buying into you, the more successful you will be. I will often use my boss, Suzanne Evans, runs a $7 million company here, has been on the Inc. 500 4 years in a row now. We do events from 300 to 1,000 entrepreneurs every year, and she is a powerhouse. And if you haven't seen her on stage, you got to put that on your bucket list. But I will often say, in this society, strike one would be the fact that you're a woman in business. It's just harder for women. Men have just naturally easier avenues, I believe. Strike two, she's overweight, and our society can often be challenged with that. Strike number three, she's lesbian, and that's, we're gaining great strides, but it's still, not accepted in some areas of the country. And strike four, it's not like she came out of Harvard Business School or anything like that. She went to NYU, but it was for a master's degree in educational theater. And if you put all of those factors on paper, you would go, how on earth does she run a $7 million company with 18 full-time employees and all this kinds of thing? And she is one of the smartest marketing minds I've ever been around. But her personality presence and confidence is overwhelming. It's just a thing to behold, and that's what people buy into. And we've got, you know, several different coaching programs always running. Our 10K club has about 180 people in it. She's just launched a new program called Speak, and we're over 200 people in that. She has private coaching of around 25 people and another group around 33 people. And it all comes down to being creative and being a powerful presence. So I love that kind of creativity. I kind of got lost on the question and just started talking.
No,
But I love
great.
that whole concept. So
You know what I think is great that you just did, Jimbo. You did telling a story, and that's what this is all about. So it relates, Jimbo,
Yeah.
because this is all about attracting your perfect customers through your story. So what you did is you told what makes you tick. I listened carefully. You said creativity. Creativity is also what makes me tick. And then you explain why, because you're absolutely glowing right now, being in that creative world around Suzanne. And I've listened to Suzanne's videos, and I can attest that she is a powerhouse. She's a dynamo, and I would certainly love to learn more from her, because she's got this energy that exudes, and you want to be around someone like that.
Yeah, and I think, you know, some of my other clients, Lisa Sasevich, that I've been working with since 2009, and I do all of her videos. Again, another very successful business coach, and again, it comes down to her personality. You know, her and Suzanne are very different, but they do similar things, right? And it comes down to like attracting that perfect client through your personality, through your story, like you were just mentioning.
Right, and that means you're really in touch with your inner self.
Oh, absolutely.
So let's go on, Elaine. What makes you tick? What do you feel makes you in your perfect customer tick?
I would say we each want to be seed sowers, or like yeast particles. Think of what yeast is. You know, if you're a little yeast and with the right moisture, that yeast is going to grow. It's going to make like some dough expand in size. I want to feel that the tidbits that I'm sharing, the seeds that I'm sowing, they're going to grow, they're going to land on the fertile soil, that I'm going to provide some of the nourishment to help that grow, but then, you know, that baked good or that new plant that grows, you know, that is going to bear new fruit. So I see that the people that I work that want to take the things that have helped them get clear, release their blockages, their inhibitions, so that they can bring their own work also more powerfully out into the world to help uplift and inspire other people as well.
You know, that's so beautiful. I know you, Elaine. We've been buddies for a while, and I see you are a catalyst. You know, that's what you're saying. You love to spark new growth, and you do it in such a beautiful, lighthearted way that I think it touches people deeply, because people need that uplifting, and I think that's just so beautiful. Let me go to Virginia this time. Virginia, what would you say makes you tick?
Well, when you're talking about how I tick with my clients and how we tick together, I think it's a shared vision and the enthusiasm to go after that vision. So when they're, and I'll give you an example, I'll tell a story regarding a new client that I have, that it's a couple that they aren't married, but they were dating at one time. Now they're just great business partners, and they specialize in rehabbing properties and then flipping them. So they're calling their new vision flippin' X's, which is really cute.
Oh, that's funny.
But the point is that what they want to do is take their vision, get it out there, increase their visibility so they become known as regionally the top rehab company in this case, the Indianapolis area. And their vision is very strong, and so I embrace that vision and say, where can we go with this? How can we get you there? What's the fastest way to get you there to get out there? And their ultimate goal is to end up with a show on HGTV. So the vision is there, the enthusiasm is there, and now it's just a matter of taking the steps. So that's how you tick, as far as I'm concerned, when you get a new client.
You know, I want to stop you right there because you mentioned something, Virginia, that's really interesting. You mentioned their vision and enthusiasm. And I would like to ask you for a moment, what do you think is their perfect partner, or I should say their perfect mentor? What qualities are they looking for, and does it match your qualities?
Well, that is the point. As I listen to what their vision and their enthusiasm is all about, then I just take a look at what are the solutions that I can provide for them. And I can't say I'm the perfect solution for everything that they need. They have a really huge vision. But for the part that I know I can provide, it's a matter of providing the solutions and the steps so it's doable for them, because they're already very busy in their businesses. They're in construction, they're in real estate, and so they turn to someone who can help them take those steps and take a load off of them so they can just do what they're good at. And as a mentor, I can do what I'm good at, and that makes a perfect mesh.
Right. That's what I was saying. Thinking that you're actually such a perfect match. They're your perfect customer because they tick with what you tick about, that you both have a vision for doing things in a big way. Would you agree?
Absolutely. It's going to be fun working with them.
That's so great. How about you, Molly? I'm hearing a little echo. I don't know why that's happening. Maybe we need to mute or something. But Molly, could you share what makes you and your perfect customer tick? You work with a number of people in the Google Hangout world. And
what makes me and my customers tick is I like to be very transparent with them in terms of making sure that they understand what the overall goal, what are we trying to accomplish with their business. And every business is unique. There's a different goal. And it's like I explain to people with digital strategies, it's kind of like a jigsaw puzzle. It's not a same cookie cutter strategy that's going to work for each business. So I try to be transparent with them. I try to inspire them. I try to share case studies of clients that I've taken, when they came to me, they didn't have anything, and I built them a website, and I got them 12,000 visitors a month, and that it makes them excited, and it lets them know that I can accomplish the goals for them. But at the same time, I like to inspire them, meaning when I take these case studies and I say, look, this is what I did for this person, I can do the exact same thing for you. So that would be the things that I would share. I like to, and one last final thing is never quit. You cannot quit. In being a small business, it can get very frustrating at times, and you can really say, I'm done. I'm throwing in the towel, and I'm just going to go ahead and throw in the towel.
Oh my goodness. I hear you. That's okay. Molly, you can unmute from. I wanted to ask you if you wouldn't mind just digging a little deeper. You mentioned about inspiring them. So if you could condense what you just said in a short way, what makes you and your perfect customers tick? What makes you get up in the morning and get excited? Could you put that in a shortened phrase?
What makes me tick with my customers is I'm going to be able to produce results. I'm going to be able to get them the traffic they need. I'm going to be able to generate the leads that they can eventually turn into customers and make their online success. That's what makes me tick.
Okay, so you love bringing results into fruition, similar to everyone here. Well, I don't know, Roland, if you want to participate, because I know you're monitoring comments. Are there any comments, Roland, that you'd like, since we don't have our comment tracker working, are there any comments that you'd like to bring out into the program? Because I don't know what's happening out there.
Dave Moore is prolific at commenting on all these things, of course.
Thank you, Dave.
He is a coach, and a couple things he said, that life begins where your comfort circle ends, and he was commenting on stepping out of your comfort zone. And also he comments, creativity is very important. If we create something for people to use, that's great, but if they can take what we created and create something from it, that's wonderful.
No, that's beautiful. Thank you, Dave. That was really great. I wanted to get Dave on this program with us in the panel, but he was too busy to do that, but I'm so glad you're able to comment. So let's move on. We have 5 steps, and remember, everyone, this is typically a process that you spend a lot of time mulling over and really digging deep. So this is an overview for you. The 3rd step in the strategic attraction process is specify. And this really is all about what would you want your perfect customer to expect of you? And I'm going to give you a little story here. Imagine that you are out on the sea and you're in a boat and it gets stormy. And there's a lighthouse out on the shore, and it's firmly planted in the shore, and you see the light, and you want to get to shore because you're getting worried, so you start going towards the lighthouse, and you're getting closer and closer. And then all of a sudden, the person at the lighthouse decides that maybe it's not such a good idea to be up there at the top, and they're going to come down to the bottom of the ground, and they're going to start waving their lights wildly across the land. They're going to be running back and forth. How do you possibly find where the land is? Because the light keeps shifting from one place to another. Well, you have trouble, don't you? The reason there is a lighthouse is because it's a clear beam of light. And so I'm giving you this story to give you an analogy of what would each of us want our perfect customers to expect of us. And I think the most important thing, it's something I've been working on a lot this year, is having clarity, both clarity in what we offer as well as clarity in what we charge, clarity in all our program descriptions, everything, so they know exactly who you are and what you're all about. As Jimbo mentioned earlier before he had to leave, people get attracted to Suzanne Evans because they feel her energy and they know what she's all about. Each of us has something to offer other people, and so we want to think, and this takes time. You write on your piece of paper, and I can also send you a PDF of this 5-step process. What would you want your perfect customer to expect of you? And it certainly will go beyond clarity. But let's just pick a couple bullet points here. As I said, it's a process, and I'm going to ask a volunteer from our panel. Who would like to go first? We have 3 panelists. Would you like me to call on you? Okay, all right, Elaine, I saw your hand first. We're going to specify now. What would you want that person to expect of you or organization?
I would want my my client they would be expecting of me integrity, creativity in my process, and a format that would help them recognize periodically how they are making progress. In other words, we could say that could be results, and results sometimes take the form of very tangible things. Some people want that. Sometimes people are looking for change and they go to less tangible areas, like they're growing in awareness about things, or they're growing in the capacity to notice their feelings. To me, there's so much about the feeling part of our life experience and being aware of what that is. That's a large part of growth, and I will see this expansive energy dynamic that I think is really happening on the planet. If we're more and more in touch with our feeling sense and how that's changing, so I would want my clients to know that through the course of working with me, they will be able to make assessments that feel like they're getting good value from our relationship.
Okay, so you mentioned a lot of good points for integrity and getting good value. They would expect those things from you so that you could then give it to them. You give them exactly what they want, correct?
Yeah, and I said, for some people they're looking for really, things with different kind of measurements. The arena that I work in often is in less tangible things. It's areas of expanded awareness and expanded capacity to recognize feelings and those interchanges.
Okay, and so you would want them to. So can you say it in a succinct way again? What would you want them to expect of you?
They would be expecting of me a process where they can be making assessments of their own progress.
Beautiful.
And that, in our working together, it's a valuable relationship.
Great, thank you. Virginia, saw your hand up.
Yeah, I mean, I love these questions, first of all, Lynn, because I don't often think of it this way. So I just love the process of thinking about what is it they expect from me. Well, I know when they hire me, they expect to have increased visibility and recognition in their area of expertise. That's why they hire me. But what they're also hiring me for is the process that I take them through. So when you said clarity, that's really important. They want a step-by-step process that feels doable, that is doable, and at the same time, I know what they want me to do. They want me to push them a bit out of their comfort zone so they can get out there and get the recognition and visibility they deserve. So the clear step-by-step guidance that they need to do that, and then the nudge they need, and also I know they want me to be a cheerleader for them, and that is, I know you can do this. You need to get out there. The world's waiting for what you have to share, and so giving them the encouragement to step out of their comfort zone and take the steps necessary to gain visibility and recognition, that's the end result of what they're looking for. But it's the process.
That's great.
It is the journey, isn't it, as they would say.
Yes, exactly.
And I think that they'd like to have some fun on this journey. So I think they're also expecting from me to help show them how much fun it can be.
That's beautiful. You know, both you and Elaine, I know, have background in other areas. Like you said, in the past show, you told us about your hypnosis background. Elaine, you have the nursing and emotional background. And I think all those qualities blend together in such a beautiful way so that your clients now get added value because you are coming from the heart, all of us, Molly as well. So Molly, tell us, what would you want you and your perfect customer, what would your perfect customers want them to expect of you? I want to say it the right way. Specify what you want your perfect customers to expect of you.
Sure. What I would think that my customers would expect from me would be value, meaning my background, my experience, my education, my training. I can produce the results that they're looking for. Transparency in terms of the data that we discover as we go along the journey and making them a success online. Also translator. I get this a lot because people, like I said earlier, they understand that they need a website, they need visibility online, but they're just not exactly sure how to get there. They don't understand what coding is or conversion optimization or things of that nature. So I'm kind of a translator in terms of I explain in a way that they can understand this is what we're doing. It's a technical thing we're doing, but let me explain it to you in such a way that you'll understand. And I think inspiration. That's one thing that they can expect of me in terms of, you know, sharing information with them above and beyond what we're doing with their project in terms of, well, what is a Google Hangout, or, you know, what is SEO? What are the different tools that we use? So those would be the things that I would think they would expect from me.
Okay, thank you, Molly. I want you to stay on. Don't unmute yourself yet, okay? Because you mentioned a number of things. And the first thing you brought up, which I was, you know, thinking, you know, let's put it in terms of priorities. You mentioned value first, right? But I think people come to you more than that. Jimbo mentioned people, you know, buy into us by who we are. And to me, you know, you are such a beautiful presence, and I don't just mean on the outside, but value is who you are giving wise. And I think that people are attracted to you because they know that, you know, that you have integrity. I mean, that you're going to come through for them. I mean, today, I'm just going to give everyone an example. You know, Molly had something else scheduled today. I asked everybody here in the panel at the last minute, and, you know, you said you'd see what you could do, and I knew you would, and I certainly didn't want you to feel any obligation, but you did whatever you could, and you are here today, and I think that's a reflection of your character and credit. And so value is part of that, but I think, you know, if we're digging deep, and all of us, as I said, this is a condensed coaching session for everyone. It takes time to reflect and put the priorities in place, but I think that value is part of the equation, but I think they're buying to you because they know you're going to come through for them, whatever it takes. How do you feel about that, Molly?
I would agree with that. I can just quickly share a story with you. In the last week,
Please.
I've had at least 5 people reach out to me and just say, Molly, I saw your post about coding, and I went and I did a class, and I know how to code now. Or Molly, I saw a post that you did about Google My Business, and I went and I signed up, and I have a Google My Business account. And that really is what makes my day, is when somebody comes to me and says, you know what, I saw your article, I saw your post, I saw your video, I really liked what I saw, I thought it was a good idea, I went and I tried it, and it worked out. That, to me, is the best story of all time, when somebody says, Molly, I love what you're doing, In fact, one of the other Google partners on the Smarty Show, I think it was 2 weeks ago, he was using an example, and he was explaining it because, if Molly had a store in a mall and it was way up on the second floor, backed up, she would find a way to somehow get those people from the entrance all the way up to that back store on the second shelf. And I think when you have people out there saying, this person really is out there, they're really trying hard, they have good advice, they're really actually trying to help people succeed online, I think that right there is a testament to just try and help people out. That's my whole motto.
Wonderful. Thank you for sharing that story. And you know what that would say? Says to me, Molly, don't remember that. It says to me that you are committed to your customer. Would you say that?
Absolutely. From the very beginning all the way through the customer journey. That's part of the customer service that I deliver, that I want my customers to know that I'm going to be there for you. I'm going to be there in the beginning. I'm going to be there through the optimization. And I'm going to be there when you start getting clients. And when you need to expand, I'm going to be there when you need to expand. In fact, that's my overall goal for my clients, is I like to see them. Most of them are startups, and most of them are entrepreneurs, and they don't have a lot of resources to start up. And so that's why I share these resources that Google has, these free resources, and this is what you can do. And that's especially true in the small business community. A lot of those folks, they just don't have a big budget. So what can we do? Let's get creative. Let's put together a plan for you, and let's implement it.
Thank you. Thank you. I know Roland's mentioned we only have a few minutes, like whatever, a short amount of time left, but I wanted to get the stories out, but I also wanted you to hear the process of what we go through when we coach. So I ask people to tell us tell me their feelings and their thoughts, and then we can dig deeper, because sometimes it's hidden beneath the surface, the answers to these steps. We're going to move on to declare, and I have a little story for you there. Declare is the next step, and it is the fourth step of what do you have to be to attract your perfect customer? What do you have to step into? I mentioned it always has been important for me to make a positive difference. And I'll just share two really brief stories. One was I was getting coaching from Alan Hickman, who was partners with Jan Stringer in becoming a certified strategic attraction coach. And we were really digging deep on what do I have to be? And he said to me, Lynn, you are the difference maker. And that really took me aback, because I guess in my mind I was feeling like I'm always aspiring to be that difference maker. And then we were reviewing some of my past history, my volunteer efforts out in Ecuador to help children with my husband, and I was playing music and entertaining the kids while they got their first ever dental checkup and work, and other things I've done in writing articles and doing media work for nonprofits to get them the exposure they needed and to get them funding that resulted in great accomplishments for them. So I started thinking, I have to put value on myself. But still, it's hard always for me to do that. And so I want to share this with you, because some people listening might feel like, it's hard to value ourselves. And the person in our panel today, I want to just give her credit, is wonderful Elaine Nieberding, who helped me declare who I could be. And we were together at the Hangout Marketing Challenge a couple years ago, and I was one of the finalists. Virginia was also one of the finalists, and I was frankly pretty scared, because I didn't expect to be a finalist, and if I was, I didn't expect to have to speak on stage and be timed and be able to explain myself without any notes of why I deserve to be the Hangout Marketing Person of the Year, whatever it was. And so Elaine and I were sharing a room, and she told me that I could step into my power, and she did a little energy session with me in Reiki and helped me become who I wanted to be, to declare that I deserve to be in the running and to deserve to be a Hangout Marketing finalist. So I want to thank Elaine for that, and let you all know that you can declare what you want to be. You can choose your words, and you can choose how you want to live your life. So with that, I'm going to turn to Elaine. Declare what you want to be, Elaine, to attract the perfect customer. And thank you.
Well, I am my vibrant, energetic self. And I am at a point in my life where I'm committed to listening about the form my work is to take. Within the last month, I've noticed like the musical part of me, the part of me that wants to sing and perform. It's like rearing its head again. I don't know exactly how I might weave that into some of my public work or public blabs or hangouts in the next couple months. I don't know. But I trust that the form my work will take to have maximal impact in the world, to be a peacemaker and an inspirer for people to tap into their joy, their authentic self, their true nature. It will take the form it's going to take. The ego critic in me is always saying, "Oh, it has to look like this, or it has to look like that," and then I find myself falling out of being in the moment and being alert for how the spirit of love moving through me wants to take new form. So I want to stand in that truth to let myself, I could even say, be the chameleon, as love would have me be, to provide my service.
Beautiful. Well, we can go into more depth on that, but I like what you're doing, and then you just keep at it. We're all in a constant, I think, growth process here. It's not like we're ever finished. I think the point is what we declare what we want to be at this time. You know, Virginia, would you share? Who do you have to be? You are already standing in that being, but tell us who you have to be anyway to attract the perfect customers.
Oh gosh, I think there's so many things that are all wrapped up into it. It's a bundle package. I think number one, I just have to be me. And I'm not going to be anyone but me, and I can't pretend to be anyone but me. So being authentic, being genuine is the foundation of everything else that I need to be. Enthusiasm, I think, is super important, and it just, that's the way I am. I'm enthusiastic and positive, and I expect things to work out well, even if they're challenges. So I have high expectancy. And I guess finally, I really want to be, and that's what I'm working on being, is a good role model to the people who are coming to me for support and increasing their own visibility. So I have to step into my own experience and at the same time continue to remind myself that it's all about growth. We're never stagnant. We're where we are because we have, pursued certain things and tried certain things and made stupid mistakes, but it's all about growth. So I want to exemplify that as a role model as well. We start where we're at, we do the best we can, and we keep striving for excellence. So all of those are parts of the package, I guess I would say, that people get when they get me. You get the whole bundle.
That is so funny because actually you have declared to the world who you are in all your websites, but you didn't mention it right here. And I'm going to see if I could draw it out to you from you because you know it. So who do you declare? What is when I say declare who you have to be, I'm asking you to think of a succinct phrase like I came up with, and you can change. I came up with storing marketing mentor for myself. You have a phrase that you use that you didn't mention just now. The phrase of who you are. Who have you declared, Virginia?
Oh, well, I declared I'm the Hangout Mentor, but I've grown beyond that already.
No, but see, that's what I wanted you to say, because that encapsulates, doesn't it, everything that you just said?
Yeah, I guess so. I don't know. I think it's more than that, but yeah. That's what
no, but that's it because you're a teacher and you're a Hangout person. So that's a phrase. So Molly, I hope you don't feel like I'm putting you on the spot. But if you can think of a phrase now, a phrase of who you could declare yourself to be, what would you say?
I would say that I am a Google Partners Ambassador. I'm a Google Small Business Advisor. I'm also a Rising Star. Google has given me this title for the 2 different forums. And I declare that I'm knowledgeable, I'm helpful, and that my overall goal is to see a business succeed. In terms of just me in general, I try to be supportive and understanding. I understand that people may be afraid of what they're trying to do online, or maybe they don't understand, and so I try to approach that with knowledge and understanding, patience, and explain to that person that we will be able to accomplish what you want to. It just takes a little time and understanding.
Okay, so what I'm going to do, we only have a little bit of time left, but Molly, what I would say, would go back to you, say, if you could take all those traits, just like I was doing with Virginia a moment ago, and work on encapsulating it into a phrase so people would remember it. Then it becomes really powerful because it's easy for people to remember, you know, versus if you have all the different phrases, it's harder for people to remember them. So that's what I would encourage you to do, is take all those great traits and make it into some phrase. Maybe you're the Google marketing visionary or teacher or something, mentor. You know what I'm saying?
I do have a catchphrase for my business, and my catchphrase is harness the power of the internet. And I came up with that phrase when I first went into business because, you know, I think a lot of people don't realize how powerful this thing, the internet, is. You know, it levels the playing field for businesses. We can have a website, we can do hangouts, we can do presentations, we can connect with people all over the world. And we couldn't do that, you know, 15, 20 years ago. And even 15 or 20 years ago, we weren't doing that. You know, we didn't have things like hangouts and you know, video marketing and video coaching and things like that. So I think that, you know, what Elaine and yourself and Virginia are doing is you're taking those tools, the internet, hangouts, you know, video production, mentoring, and, you know, coaching, and doing that with people. You're sharing that information with people, and I think that right there is just so important because you make it easy for people to understand. All of you make it very easy to explain what it is you're doing and how you're going to be able to help your clients out.
Well, thank you. But I would still come back to you later, Molly, and say, I like harnessing the power of the internet, but that's your company branding. So I'm saying for you to brand yourself, you declare who you want to be. Maybe you are the harnesser of the power of the internet, or the teacher for something of that nature. We're going to go on because I only have a little bit of time. I want to get to the fifth step. And the fifth step here, it also takes time, but it's an important one. Activate. Activate means putting all your ideas and goals into action. And that means sitting down and writing down a list of what you need to do. And as a gift to everyone listening here, I'm going to be giving you, if you register, all you have to do is go to, it's on the product on this page, the lowercase bit.ly/DMS, capital DMS. I think I have it as registration. I don't remember now, but you register, and I'll send you the link again. I'll be giving you a productivity gift from one of the top productivity experts in the country, if not the world, Gary Ryan Blair. And I took his 100-day challenge, and he has a productivity manifesto and some video content that I think would be really helpful for you. I'll also be sending you, for those who register, a marketing funnel template that you can use to be able to get strategies in place and put those goals into action, because nothing happens unless you take the first step and take action, right? So we have like 3 to 4 minutes left, and I don't know if each of you can be succinct here, because we've got a lot done in a short amount of time. Would you share with each of us, share with us what you feel would be the most important thing to just track the ideal, the perfect client, or what are your parting thoughts for our listeners at the end of the summit to help them make the biggest difference in the world? Who would like to go first? Any brave souls out there?
I'll start.
Okay,
my final words are: feel the power of your own heart. If you wake up every morning knowing that you're alive, you're here on the planet at this very interesting moment in human and earth history, and feel into the love that fuels you, that makes you, and know that that source provides you with everything that you need just when you need it. And as you continue making contact with that source of your power, you will not only attract the people to you that need to receive your gifts, but you will open yourself up to notice when those gifts, when those resources are showing up so you can fuel your life forward. So my belief is you activate your power every day by making that inner connection. and letting those gifts pour forth from there.
Beautiful. Thank you, Elaine. Molly, would you like to go next?
Sure. Yeah. My final thoughts would be to activate your presence and your clients is just to be there for them, to be helpful. Don't give up. When we come along this journey, there might be a couple bumps in the road, and it really shows a person's credentials when they're able to, say, well, I'm having an off day today. I'm just going to stay in bed. Well, you can take that attitude, or you can say, well, I'm having a bad day today, but I'm going to get up and do this anyways. And I think when you take that strategy of, just don't give up, keep moving forward, keep trying, find people that are going to be able to help you succeed. And I say this a lot. A lot of times people's success is not just that person. It's a group of people. It's a network of people that they take that person and they lift them up. And they make sure, I'm going to be there for that hangout. I'm going to watch the hangout. I'm going to be there. I'm going to show up, and I'm going to support this person. And that actually has been my experience with Hangouts and being on Google Plus. Is, when I first started out, I didn't have very much experience, but it was through my network of people on Google Plus, Google Partners, all the people I've met online, that they have literally lifted me to where I am today.
Thank you. So be part of a team and feel the power. Virginia, we have like a minute or two left. Please share with us what party words.
I can be succinct.
Okay, go ahead.
Now, I would sum it up. Everything that Molly and Elaine have said are so important. I would sum it up with live by your inspiration. And when you think of the word inspiration and inspire, meaning in, within, and spire, to spiral upward, as long as you're connecting to your inspiration, you're living by it, you're uplifting yourself, and you can't help but uplift other people who connect with you. And you're going to draw to you the very people you can inspire, support, and uplift the most. So connect inward, spire upward, and that's, of course, where I came up with the idea of the Inspirational Businesswoman Show. It is about inspiring.
Love it. Love it. Thank you. Roland, I know you haven't been commenting, but I'd like you to share, if you would, before I close, if you would unmute yourself. There he is. Roland, actually, I felt was sort of, we got attracted through the internet just as really good friends, and I'm so grateful to have him. Roland, would you like to share something from our common stream or from yourself? Or I don't hear you. There you are.
Well, that's because I'm busy typing.
All right.
Sheila Finkelstein joined us. She's really having a good time listening to everybody. And I am too, and of course, if I had the open mic, I would have been shouting and chanting amongst all of your comments. But the thing that I'm definitely aware of is that Hangout started with a certain focus in mind to help others and to help businesses. And we're all using them for a similar cause, exactly that. So however we do it and whatever our methodologies, we are helping people. And as the saying goes, if we can have everything in this life that we want, as long as we help enough others get what they want. And that's what we're doing. We're coming up with ways and facilitations so that people can achieve their dreams and what they want. But we are also dealing with the psychology of going on. We're encouraging them. We're clearing up the fact that there aren't so many don'ts as they think there are. And we're clearing the path mentally so they can be successful. And sometimes it's a simple flick of a switch or saying just the right thing, or maybe it's an ongoing encouragement to keep giving them a little prod. But we're doing all those things in our own ways. So in a nutshell, we're helping people, and we're doing it in our own way, and it's with love and devotion, and we're really truly giving. And it's very clear to me, no one here is going to pop on your show and say, and for $9.95 on the discount this month, we can, because we're not focused on the money. We're focused on the helping of people, and that's why I love being here. And thank you very much for giving me a couple
Thank you, Roland. So I'd like to just close with a few words, and I'm sure you've heard these before, but this is the thought came up to me, especially when Elaine started talking about light, and Virginia was talking about inspire, and then Molly was talking about teamwork. I'd like to leave you with the message of be the light that you want to see in the world. You don't have to wait for others to do it. You can be the light. You touch lives every day, and you can choose to be that light. And so as an added gift to all of you, I want to let you know that our core members who started this Hangout Marketing Summit, that was Virginia, Roland, Velan Hawkins, and myself, we wanted to offer an extra special gift. Even though Roland said we're not doing all this for money, we're doing this for free, but we still have to make some living, so we're offering something to it at an amazingly discounted price. I want to just close. We put together a product of all these 7 summits, 7 hours of content, and we want to do something more. We're each going to offer up to 10 different people to have a free strategy session with each of us. That's 4 hours of time. If you want to purchase the recorded series, it's $147 for 7 hours plus a strategy session with Roland, Virginia, Lynn, and myself. It's up to you. You don't have to, but I want to let you know that's an added bonus, and everyone who registers will be able to get all the bonuses from the first session of the summit through today. I just want to again say I'm so grateful for all of you who are attending live or on the replay, and also for my guests who have come at the last minute to be here, to share their thoughts, to be supportive. We all bring great energy into the world, and I say keep doing it. Our world needs you. Thank you for being here. And have a lovely holiday season, and we will be back after the holidays with regular Difference Makers programs to inspire, motivate, and empower all of you. Thank you again. Take care. Bye-bye.